So it's been a beautiful Friday. Weather's been fantastic. Had a bit of good weather yesterday afternoon, but today's the first bit of real sunshine we've had for well over a week. I've come to the Wiltshire Downs in search of a short-eared owl. I've heard there's one around. I'm hopefully meeting one of my birding buddies, Phil Smith. You'll know Phil from a previous video on my YouTube channel. Excellent local birder, or excellent birder generally, but he's based in Wiltshire. He's spotted some short-eared owls here, and we're going to go hunting for them this afternoon together. So hopefully we'll get some shots and a bit of video footage. Mainly I'm looking for still shots, but again, if we can get some footage, that'd be fantastic. So I've just met Phil Smith down the bottom of the hill. He told me that the shorties are still around and the most likely places where they're going to be quartering, and this is one of them, the field in front of me. So I've come up here and I'm going to set up in a minute, just set up here, looking to get some great flight shots if possible. Ultimate aim is to get a head-on shot in flight, so I hope to get that today if they show up, of course. Phil stayed down there because there's a bit of set-aside land and they also quarter that, so he's going to stay there pretty much and just see if they come down to that end. We're in touch, so he'll probably give me a call if they show up down there, and I'll probably make my way down there if they don't show up here. So here we are on the Wiltshire Downs, looking for one of the most mysterious and probably attractive birds in the UK, the short-eared owl, or fondly known as a shortie. And as we speak here, there's a kestrel hovering over this bit of land here, and that's a good sign because kestrels, eat very similar food to the short-eared owl and barn owls, etc. So that's an excellent sign. So the short-eared owl is a bird that still breeds in the UK, but certainly not in the numbers it used to, and most of the breeding now is confined to the north of England, to Scotland in particular. Now there have been a few whispers that there are breeding pairs on the Salisbury Plain, but the likelihood is they are breeding north, and they've gone from places like Norfolk, Suffolk, where they used to breed in numbers as well. So we still do have shorties in Wiltshire, but ordinarily as a winter migrant between the months of October and March essentially. And by the end of March, normally early April, they will be gone back to their breeding grounds further north. And shorties come in, so they migrate down from the north of England, north and Scotland, but we also get shorties coming in from Iceland, Scandinavia, and as far afield as Russia, for example, that bolster our numbers in the winter. But it's not been a great year here on the Wiltshire Downs and the Salisbury Plain. In fact, there's only a very few number of shorties been spotted all winter so far. So that's why I'm really excited to come up to the Wiltshire Downs today, knowing that they've been seen recently. So the shortie is a mysterious bird, and the reason for that, it's thought that it's kind of rather nomadic. It tends not to go back to the same breeding grounds year after year like some raptors do. I say, from here it'll go north, it could go to Scandinavia, it could go to Russia, and outside of the breeding season, some shorties have been known, and recent studies have shown that they actually go south through France, over the Pyrenees, down through Spain, and even over to Morocco across the Gibraltar Straits. So a very nomadic bird, and hence very, very mysterious. So the short-eared owl is named so because of two feather tufts it has on the top of its head that make it look like mammalian ears essentially, but they're not, they're just feather tufts. be really exciting if I could get a shot showing those feather tufts, because you don't see them very often. They're quite rare in photographs that I've seen anyway. So why the short-eared owl here? Well, they predominantly feed on small mammals, and of that 90% would be field voles. So this looks like a fantastic spot for field voles. This is the largest area of chalk grassland in Western Europe when you combine it, the Wiltshire Downs with the Salisbury Plain. So this is National Trust land, so essentially you'll see dog walkers all over this site. There are some tracks, and I'm going to stay pretty much to the track today. I'm just off the track. I'm going to put my ghillie coat on. That's not because you need to put heavy camo on to take pictures of short-eared owls or any crepuscular owl like barn owls, for example. There's some great sites you can just stand by the side of the field and you'll get some fantastic shots, because they're not overly wary of humans, as long as you don't don't get too close, of course. So I'm just going to sit here, going to put some camo on. The reason for that is that I think the welfare of the birds is foremost in my mind, and I don't want to put them off. If I'm camoed up, they're not going to be affected. Their behaviour won't be affected anyway. I'm hoping they'll come fairly close and I can take some fantastic shots. And remember, that target shot of the face on flying at me would be fantastic today. A shot I've wanted to get for a very long time. Let's put the camo on, let's get set up. It's now it's about 3:30. So as I say, they are crepuscular. They're very active normally at dusk and dawn, the twilight hours. They're active at other times as well, and sometimes you see them during the day. Noon you might see them, but they're crepuscular. So I'd imagine they should be thinking about coming out about now. Maybe 4 o'clock, 4:30. So I'm going to stay here for as long as it takes until it gets dark, and hopefully we'll see one of the shorties come through and quarter hunt this area, and we'll get some fantastic shots. Well, as I said, I've chosen this spot because I think it's going to have a healthy population of the mammals that the shorties like to eat. So there's a fair chance it's going to come back and quarter this field, hunt this field here. The sun's behind me, so it's perfect light. We're approaching the golden hour, so the light is perfect for some flight photography. The other thing we've got here is a fence line here with posts, so there's every chance that a shortie will land on the post and I'll be able to take some perch shots as well. So what have I got with me? I've got the Sony A1, as ever, probably got to be certainly the best Sony birding camera ever made, and maybe of all the brands it might be the best ever made, but it's certainly a great bird photography camera. I've also got this really versatile 200 to 600 FE 200 to 600 Sony lens. For me, with flight shots in particular, if the shortie comes pretty close, I can go down to 200 millimeters and get all the bird in without clipping the wings, and if it's further away I've got the reach of 600 millimeter as well. So it's a fantastic birding lens and a brilliant combination. Okay, so I'm going to be quiet now. I'm just going to sit here and hopefully we're going to get a shortie or two today. Let's wait and see. The other essential thing to have, of course, is your binoculars. It's quite a big area. They could be quartering 5 kilometers that way and 5 kilometers that way, so it's good to have your bins just to find out where they are. I really do advocate getting set up and letting the bird come to you. I really don't like chasing birds around. It's not good for the birds. So set up in what you think is going to be a great spot and wait for the birds to come to you. What I think will happen though, this is a bit of a valley, and I know at some point this is going to go into shadow. As soon as it's gone into shadow, I'm going to go down the hill and I go to where Phil Smith is. There's a bit of set aside land, and see if we can get some shots down there as well, because I know that'll still be in the light, in the sunlight. So it's a case of adjusting to the surroundings all the time with bird photography. Could you see me? Could you see me? Alright, yeah. That's cool. One problem obviously with camoing up like this in a ghillie coat in a fairly public place where lots of dog walking, you know, you can pretty much scare dogs. You're not quite sure how they're going to react, so I'm always wary of dog walkers and dogs off leads, and I like to make myself seen if there are dogs and dog walkers around. It just makes sense to me. There's some pretty big dogs in Wiltshire. Another tip, when you're sitting on the ground, remove your wallet if you've got it in your back pocket. After about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, it becomes quite painful. Right, we've got our first shortie in sight, quartering the set-aside strip right down the valley, but it is coming this way, so I'm just going to set up, get ready. Hopefully it'll come into this field here. It's in the field, quartering now. Fantastic. A beautiful bird. A few air shots unfortunately, but also a few where it dropped down below the horizon. Fantastic bird, and I think it's getting closer, so I'll just stay quiet, although I just think I heard some people coming from above, but they tend not to be bothered. If people stay out the way they should be fine, but it's quartering this field beautifully. The A1's just snapping onto it. I think there's going to be high quality shots. Fantastic. It's coming up the slope. It's coming straight towards me. Oh, fantastic. Oh my god. Brilliant. Great. Wow, that was spectacular. It came flying straight up the slope towards me. Brilliant. I think I got some killer shots there. Wow, first shorty on Wiltshire Downs this year that I've seen, and it was absolutely fantastic. It's gone off into the distance back up to the set aside land at the moment, so I imagine it's probably half a kilometre away already, but there could be more. There have been more spotted here, so let's keep our eyes peeled. Just a brilliant bird, absolutely stunning bird. It's just a pleasure to be here watching this bird flying around. I'm not going to go and chase the birds. As I say, I don't like chasing birds. I think, you know, that's a bad policy, not good for the birds. But I will, once the sun drops out of this valley and it becomes, you know, darkness, I will move back towards the car, because I think the light up that slope will be there for a lot longer, so I will go down there, but far too early to do that just now. There's every chance it will come back this way. May even perch on these fence posts just here. We live in hope. The shorty's gone, but the kestrel's back. Unfortunately, the wind's in the wrong direction. It's facing away from me as it hovers, and it's going on down the valley now. So that was just an amazing experience. The short-eared owl, the shorty, was quartering this field in front of me, so I got some flyby shots. It was only here for 10 minutes probably, no more than that, and it's gone off. But it also came towards me, got some towards me shots, head-on shots in flight, and pretty close. It didn't see me, so that's the benefit, I guess, of wearing some camo. You know, and this ghillie suit seems to be really effective. And the only other thing that happened, it landed on the post a little bit further away. Got some distant perch shots on post, so fantastic. Now the sun is dropping below the brow, as you can see behind me, and this valley in front of me is now in shade. So that's probably as much as I'm going to, you know, any success I'm going to get here. I'm going to go across the valley. There's still sunlight on that slope, and I know there's a bit of set-aside land where Phil Smith is, and we'll see if we can find anything there. All that remains is for me to say, you know, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it half as much as I did, and you know, please like, please subscribe, and join me again on the next video. Bye for now, and I'll see you in the next one.